Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven begins with a quiet, uneventful evening, but the calm soon becomes a deeper meditation on the death of love. A lonely speaker is grieving Lenore, who has died, and his sorrow shapes everything he sees and hears. When a mysterious visitor arrives at his window, curiosity briefly interrupts his sadness. Yet the strange encounter will eventually draw him back into the memory of Lenore and the pain he cannot escape. Before the raven appears, the speaker is already imprisoned by grief. Lenore is dead, and the room around him feels empty because her absence has become the center of his life. He tries to read and to rest, but his thoughts return to the woman he has lost. Poe presents loneliness not simply as being alone, but as carrying a memory that refuses to leave. The speaker's emotional world is prepared for a visitor who will make that memory impossible to ignore. As the speaker begins to fall asleep, a tapping interrupts the silence outside his window. The sound is small, but in the lowly room it becomes powerful. He wonders whether the visitor could be Lenore, returning from the world of the dead, or simply someone seeking shelter. For a moment, the mystery gives him something other than grief to think about. His hope is fragile, but it draws him toward the window and the strange encounter that will change the night. The speaker opens the window expecting an ordinary visitor, but a raven flies into the chamber instead. The bird does not behave like a ghostly messenger or a grieving companion. It simply settles above the door and watches. Its arrival shifts the mood from sadness to curiosity. The speaker studies the unusual guest and begins to imagine that the raven may carry a message. For a brief moment, the unexpected visitor makes the speaker feel less completely alone. At first, the speaker treats the raven as an unusual but welcome visitor. He imagines that the bird may have been sent to comfort him or to offer relief from the memories of Lenore. He even describes its arrival as a fortunate event. This hopeful interpretation reflects the early stage of his response to the raven. He is curious, almost amused, and willing to believe that the strange bird might bring a meaningful message instead of pain. The raven answers the speaker with one word, Nevermore. At first, the response sounds like a strange trick or a learned phrase. But the speaker begins to connect it with Lenore and with every hope he has lost. The repeated answer becomes more painful because it never changes. Poe uses repetition to show how grief can trap a person inside the same thought. Each question seems to promise a new answer, yet the word returns and closes the door on comfort. As the night continues, the speaker's questions become increasingly desperate. He asks whether the raven is a prophet, a messenger from heaven, or a creature of evil. He wants the bird to explain what will happen to his soul and whether he will ever meet Lenore again. Yet the raven offers no explanation beyond the same refrain. The silence around the word forces the speaker to fill it with his own fear, guilt, and longing. By the end of the poem, the raven is no longer simply a strange bird. It has become the shape of the speaker's grief and the symbol of a memory that will not release him. The repeated Nevermore has changed from an amusing answer into a final judgment. Poe leaves the speaker searching for meaning, but unable to move forward. The raven remains above the door, and the speaker remains beneath its shadow, isolated by the lost love of Lenore.